Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day you're watching this. My name is Dan Roberts and I'm the host of Real Talk. Real Talk is a podcast for real fundraising where we speak to fundraisers, directors, or anybody that's interested in actually speaking to me. Today's guest is Mr. JP Hasset. I've known JP for a very long time. He's not only a colleague and a friend, he's also, I look at him like as a brother. He's got a PB of 12 in a day. He's got a PB of 30 in a week, and this is on doors. He also owns Chains Toward Fundraising, where one of his staff members got the best nutrition in the whole real ecosystem. Also, on top of that as well, he's had like the least complaints, which is also a good thing as well. And he's here with us today. He's Mr. JP Hasset. Please say hello.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on the podcast, Dan. Something that I've always wanted to be a part of, Real Talks. So very much appreciate you inviting me down here today. Thank you.
Thank you. No problem, man. Pleasure to have you. So, first question I'm going to ask you is, we've all worked together. I've known you for a very long time, but what did you do before you got into fundraising? Where did you grow up? These are the things that we don't really know about each other, because when we get into the line of work, let's be honest, what do fundraisers do? They talk about fundraising and what happened during the day. We don't really speak about the past. Not that it's like a dodgy past or anything, but the truth is, it's like it's good to know people as a person rather than just as colleague, friend / brother or whatever it is. So, go on, man.
Yeah, so grew up in southwest London, was born in Hammersmith, went to school in Twickenham, and not so much the academic type, but always got on pretty well at school due to my passion for anything sporting related. You know, I was a keen rugby player from the age of about 7 through till about 19. I was, big into my cross-country running, athletics, etc. So I think that gave me a really good kind of intro into the world of, competitive, target-driven kind of industry that we work in,
Okay.
Coming from a strong sporting background, I think there's a lot of parallels when it comes to, discipline in the field, always going out there, trying to make the biggest impact that you can for yourself, for your team, for the charity that you're representing on any given day. So, I think that was kind of initially what led me to be kind of, I don't want to sound big-headed here, but,
okay,
almost kind of a natural for this kind of work.
Yeah.
Also, coming from a background of kind of performing arts as well, I think it's another sort of parallel from my younger years through.
I didn't know that about you.
Don't you?
No, I did performing art as well. Yeah, and it's helped me as well.
Yeah, I was, I think, the only boy that they could convince to sing opera music in my year, so I kind of got front run to all the biggest parts in the operas that we used to do at school. So yeah, really good times, man.
Cool, man. What about the fundraising industry? I mean, I believe you did work somewhere else at first, and then you came to Real. Did you notice a big difference in how the training was done and the open door policy with the directors and what it was like? Not comparing, but was your first day really good? Did you enjoy it? Was you nervous? Was you excited, or was it just something you was used to?
Well, I mean, I remember my first day. I was that guy in the training that was saying, yeah, this is going to be so easy. I'm going to go out there and get 5 today. Yeah, when they go around the circle and they're like, how many are you going to get today? How many are you going to get today? And a few people were saying 5. So I thought, yeah, that sounds like a good bet.
Did you get 5?
I went out and got 0.
Fair.
Which I think is the case for a lot of us. You have these high expectations. You have this really strong will to succeed. You feel like you're doing it for a fantastic cause, and it doesn't always happen the way you expect it to. And I think that is a big part of the learning process for any fundraiser. Managing those expectations, keeping a strong will when it doesn't go your way.
I agree 100%. So, when you started Real, obviously we all enter at the same level, fundraising. Could you take us through your journey from when, we're not fully, obviously we haven't got all day, but starting from when you first started, different positions you held, how you got there, what was your work ethic like, how did you concentrate, just stuff like that. What was that like for you?
Well, I think it was quite refreshing to come into a place where the directors were very much involved, with the teams, with the staff. They always had a lot of time for me when I was a fresher back in those days. But also, a place where your hard work is recognised. And when I came in, I had a target of 8 sign-ups in a week. If you managed to achieve that 2 weeks in a row, you'd get yourself into Management Academy. So I said, right, great. So 16 sign-ups in 1 week, straight into Management Academy. And they said, yeah, sure, go for it. If you can do that, no problem. And so I went out, got my 16 sign-ups, and I was in the Management Academy.
Within 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's great to see some fundraising managers really putting their money where their mouth is. And I had a fantastic first few years at Real Fundraising. Worked my way from a fundraiser on the first day up to a team leader in the second week. Became a section manager a bit further on down the line, quite a few years further on down the line, in fact. And then, I became the national operations manager after running the London region for a few years, and kind of turning my hand, which was originally just a very door-to-door based understanding of the industry, because that's what I'd been doing for about 6 or 7 years at the time, to the other avenues of fundraising that we do, street fundraising, private site fundraising, finding out the ins and outs and the differences of how to motivate and manage fundraisers in these different operations. And 12 years down the line, still just loving fundraising like it was my first day,
Yeah, good, man. I mean, when you was in that position, when it was just after lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, the COVID times.
Yeah, I was... that's when we all went from private sites to doors, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was interesting for a lot of people. I mean, to be fair, you did get, I remember the results being, at first, was a bit slow, and then it started picking up as time went on. I mean, that's a big responsibility for yourself. I mean, we've just come out of lockdown now. You're in a situation now where people are looking to you for advice, support, being able to be the best person they can, and obviously people above yourself, expecting you to be able to get the results out of people. How did you feel about that? Was you excited? Was you nervous? What was your thought process going into that?
I mean, for me, it's always just been a case of whatever type of fundraising it is, it's all the same. You put on your best self, you go out there, you make a positive connection with people, you put passion into the dialogue, and, the results are just a byproduct of doing all of those small things right. So I knew that... particularly with the group of people that we had in the field at the time, I knew that they all had that transferability factor, that they'd all be able to make the switch. But it's finding out what ticks for each individual, how are you going to help them to make that crossover effectively? Which, I relished the challenge. It was strange but fun times.
Right.
We were all sort of segmented, but we kind of almost felt closer to each other in a way because we were so cut off from the rest of the world.
I remember that as well. We had like Zoom meetings constantly just to touch base. You came through to see me in Blackpool as well. I remember that. First day, went out there, didn't have a clue what I was doing. Managed to get one, bosh, on first day on doors. But yeah, I enjoyed it as well, and I enjoyed you. I genuinely think the success of that time was down to the relationship that you had with the people out in the field, because not only you were there to speak to people, to be stern, you was also there to talk to people to get the best out of them, i.e. just talk to them, because sometimes it's not the job, most of the times it's not the job that's the issue, it's there's something going on that's stopping this person from being their best self. And it's getting to what that is. And management itself is just being there for people. People management is very difficult. And being there for people, getting to the root of the problem and giving people advice or support and getting them to focus on the task at hand is really difficult. And in my opinion, I think you nailed it. So well done, my friend. So you're a director now yourself, aren't you?
I am indeed, yeah. 3 years in, Change the World Fundraising.
Yeah, it's good old CTW.
CTW, the fundraisers out there changing the world every day with each and every conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just kind of always been a huge part of my ethos, I remember when I first started, and someone who was giving me a bit of advice at the time said, no matter what the result is out there, if you can go home from a day in the field and you can tell your grandmother, I tried my best today, and I gave it everything, and even if you only pulled in one sign up, or, it's happened to the best of us, the occasional zero here or there.
Yeah.
Can you go and tell your grandmother in all confidence and all honesty that you put everything into that day? And if you can, then fair play to you, no matter what the result is,
Yeah.
And it's moments like, you could be 5.5 hours into a 6-hour shift. Rain is pouring down. The team around you's completely lost their minds. No one has any belief left. And you're there on 0 sign-ups as the team manager. And, reminding yourself of something like that, this last half an hour, if I give it absolutely everything, I can walk home with my chin held high. I've been in those situations time and time again over the years, and, managed to pull out 3 sign-ups in that last half an hour and show the guys, show the team, this is what fundraising's really about, no matter how many no's you've had to face, no matter how little belief you have left in the tank. It's that kind of fake it till you make it type mentality as well, that next door that you're about to knock on, they don't know that you're on 0 sign-ups 5.5 hours into the shift.
Exactly.
And if you give that presentation, we've all rehearsed it 1,000 times over, but it's not always about what you're saying, but how you're saying it with fundraising. And if you can put that same level of belief in 250 doors in on 0 as you can put in on that first door of the day after your pitch practice, I think that's the kind of fundraiser that's going to go far in this industry.
I agree 100%. Also self-belief. I think self-belief is such a massive part. I remember when I was fundraising, and we used to have like a group call, like what we do with Zoom now, but it was a group call with the managers, and they used to go around everybody and say, how many can you deliver this week? How many can deliver this week? And I had the same answer every time, which was, I'm going to get as many as I can, as quick as I can. And they never asked me after that for me to give a number, because that's what I always did.
For sure.
And I was really proud of that particular stint of my career, where I'd go out there and just give it all. Like, for example, there'd be a site and some people have gone and worked there and they've not done very well. I'd request to work that site so I could go there and show that site can be done. And I remember you telling me a story once as well about you'd be on doors and it'll start raining and you'll knock doors in a t-shirt to stop other people complaining that are wearing rainproof clothing. And you get sign-ups as well, because you just decide that this is happening, and that's what's important. So how's it going with Change the World now? It's you've got, how many staff have you got right now?
I think we're sitting at about 10 staff members at the moment.
About 10. And what operation is that? Doors and private site, or?
Yeah, so we do a mixture of doors, private sites, some events, fundraising throughout the year, kind of dotted in here and there when we can get involved. And any type of fundraising, we're up for it, essentially.
I want you to tell me about the belt.
Yeah, so a little brainchild of Dan's and mine back in the day when we originally set up Change the World Fundraising was to have a weekly competition going where not only is there a cash prize for the winner, but I should have brought it down with me today, actually, to be honest. It would have been a nice little touch. But we've got a bespoke wrestling belt for the champion, and the belt winner doesn't only get the cash prize, but also the bragging rights,
of the belt itself.
The belt handover ceremony is one of the most joyous and also the saddest moments, depending on which side of the battle that you're on that given week. But it's just a little something, get the guys going, give them something extra to fight for out
People
there.
do fight for it as well. I've seen it. And you get to the part of the week where you've got a couple of people front runners, and you can see, and it pushes them to do better than the normal day that they would work.
For sure, man.
And I think a lot of it is, there's a cash prize for it, but also the bragging rights. Because if it was just the money they were after, they wouldn't be asking to have pictures taken with the belt after they've won it in the first place.
For sure.
Yeah. So, what's the plans for the future and stuff like that?
I think we just want to keep growing organically. You know, I think it's very much a case of wanting to create the right atmosphere for people. I think we've probably kind of grown too quickly in the past, and you know, it never kind of works out the way that I've intended it to. So yeah, you know, just want to keep going for now, build up those teams, get a stronger presence going on doors, which is of course where the majority of my own fundraising experience comes from.
Yeah.
And you know, just want to keep changing the world out there as much as we can, really.
I love the tagline, change the world. Do you know, it's like, and I love the fact it's CTW as well, because that sounds like a wrestling promotion. And as most people that know me know, I'm a big wrestling nerd. But yeah, I'll tell you what, man, it's been the first one. I would like to have you on again, 100%.
Please do.
I want to say
Always
thank
a pleasure.
Thank you, bro. And I want to say thank you for coming today, and thank you in general. And I think that's it for today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you, JP.
Cheers, mate.
And I want you to take care with respect, ethics, activism, and love. This has been Real Talk. Thank you very much, and goodbye.